Hey there, YouTube friends, maskedbandit here. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I always appreciate it. And welcome back to Yeti, part 2 of this little series. And we've picked up right where we have left off with a completed layout. And no terraforming and nothing else, just layout. But it's not time to sit around and rest upon the laurels. It's time to get work done because I want this out for all of you before the holidays, and it is currently the beginning of December, so time it bees a tickin'. Another friendly reminder that if you are a member of Bro Nation, you are more than welcome to create a screenshot for our Bro Nation holiday cooperative. You create a Christmas card, basically, and we will put them all together in a nice little video to show off and support our lovely community members. So anyway, enough of this. Let's get into it. We're going to be doing some terraforming, a lot of terraforming, and lots of trees. So let's get into the terraforming and the trees. Quite the change. We have ourselves, like I said, some terraforming and some trees. And immediately, I think this adds a whole lot of interest to the ride. It kind of cements it in this environment, this mountain Yeti environment, which I'm really excited to explore more as we progress here. Oh, that hill, I love that hill. I know what some of you might be thinking. Oh my goodness, it's under the water. Yes, I know, but I want the water really, really close to the track. I actually really like that. And this is ugly. It does get fixed. It's easy to fix. To fix it, all you gotta do is move some terrain. So I'll do it right now for everyone just so they can not be worried. There. See how easy that was? Now it looks better. I think it looks better. So let's talk about what's going on here. I want this to look craggy. I want this to look icy, cold, not necessarily like happy holidays kind of stuff, you know? Like I want to show that this is an inhospitable land. The big open space here that we're going to have to find something to do with. But yeah, I thought it would be fun here for these big overbanks to have the coaster ride up and down the terrain. Kind of make this feel more like a terrain coaster. I guess if I really wanted it to be a terrain coaster, I could have, actually made the terrain first, but I didn't. This is going to be the highest point here, this little mountain peak. Did some high intensity, low brush sculpting here with the push and the pull tool, a little bit of the chisel tool to kind of get this. I'm going to go in with different terrain. The other rock terrain is much nicer. It really creates a nice rocky look without having to make your terrain really jagged. It's something that I did in Azuri Gardens when John-T and I were working on that project. In the savanna biome, they have the same thing. They have this smoother rock texture, and they have the really jagged rock texture, which works really well to create very nice rock texture without having to have super janky terrain. But you can see here we dive. The coaster takes the coaster takes a dive right into a tunnel here, and it's pretty rustic, but I like it. We're not going for super realism in this project. I mean, the layout is realistic-ish, but the terrain and all the surroundings are going to be pretty fancy-pantsy, kind of a little special something. I used to do this in Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 a lot. I used to just make realistic-looking rides in fantastic environments, and that's kind of, and by fantastic, I don't mean super good, I mean fantastical. And so I love this gorge here that these airtime hills are in. I think that's super cool. We're going to actually do even more with it here. I'm going to pull the terrain up some more here. You can see I've tried to incorporate some of the rocks into this area here. There's more work to be done. It's not looking quite how I want it yet. I'm going to get some more foliage in here. And of course, we're going to have to add the Yeti. The name of the coaster is Yeti. There's a fantastic Yeti on the workshop that I will share with you once it is in the project. Yeah, so really kind of took me not too long to figure out what direction we were headed here. It's just spamming these trees, and my goodness, this would be so much easier in Planet Zoo. Oh, this would be so much easier. You could just turn on the snow and everything would be blanketed. It'd be great. Alas, that is not something that we have here. I have 2 snow trees, a big one and a little one, and trying to use those to my advantage has proven to be a little difficult. I am, you'll notice, throwing in the occasional unsnowed tree, like right here, and some unsnowed bushes. And I'm using a lot of the what is it, that begins with a C. I want to say creosote, but that doesn't sound right at all. Oh yeah, creosote bush. I use a lot of creosote bush 4 because it has no foliage on it. It's a good, to me it works well for a winter, bush. So yeah, that's kind of what we're doing. It's going to be a lot of this. So there's still a bunch more terrain work to go, not to mention terrain refinements. Lots of stuff. We're going to put this inversion here, the 270-degree double whatever people have told me in the comments of the last video. Thank you for knowing your RMC inversions. But yeah, so let's truck along and catch it in the next step. Posted a shot on Bro Nation that looks just like this, and I did a little bit of lighting here, and I want to show you the Yeti. I think it's so fun. I love this guy. This Yeti comes from the Steam Workshop. It's by a creator, Uber Dark Knight, and this is literally called Harold the Yeti. I'll put a link to this, to the Steam Workshop page, in the description of the video. And just look at how well, that's TMTK item obviously, but oh, it's so very good. And you will notice now that we have these banks here much more defined. I've gone ahead and painted with the darker, with the darker rock texture up here to give it that look. I am really happy with this area. I think this looks like, I don't usually toot my own horn, but I really do enjoy the way this all looks. This is coming together so very well, and this lighting is just great. There's a lot of stuff talking about reshade. I may try some reshade whiz-biz with this. I'm not sure how it'll work, but we'll give it the old college try. We're gonna switch it to 1230 so we can get back to our daytime view. Not much over here has changed. A little bit more detail work. Like I said, most of the work for this, pardon me while I fly the camera around, was back in the gorge again, getting that completed and all treed up. And oh, figuring out what we're doing with the hill over here. With this inversion. Another second tunnel, which actually completely encloses this second overbank, which I think is really neat. Gonna touch this up just a little bit. Again, I don't care if it's rustic like that, like it actually was bored through the mountain. I'm okay with that. And you can see here we've got our inversion. Yeah, so on top of a hill. But this leads me to a bit of an issue here. What do I do between these two here? There's a lot of empty space. It's a very flat part of the coaster. Gotta figure it out, because I don't want it to feel like 2 totally different areas. I have to find a way to better incorporate this. So, and you know what? I'm just not loving this helix. I'm not loving the helix at the end of this. I think I'm gonna try my hand, potentially, at changing up the end here. Make it just a little bit longer, a little bit more RMC-ish, because it does have a lot of speed going into the brake run. So I think we could manage to do a bit more with it. So, but yeah, you can see how it's really starting to come along now and feel pretty good. Also have to do something over here because this is just a big old snowdrift, and that's not very exciting. We need to kick this up a notch or 2. So things be a little different here, eh? So, what timing. So I've messed with this area. This was the bluff area, in the very last scene. If I come down here, you'll see. Oh, I did some work. I added a river. through the area. I don't know I don't care. I think it looks really good. I really am happy with it. The way it carves out the side of the mountain here. And it's just, now I know there should probably be some supports here. Maybe I'll get to it. Maybe I won't, but I just absolutely love the way this turned out with the rocks and just all the new trees in here. Really decided to fill up the trees. Just love it. Like, this is so cool. I am very happy with this, and hopefully you think it looks pretty okay as well. Here comes the coaster. Haha! Yes! And you might have noticed some bits over here. In addition to a Yeti, we now have Krampus. This is made by Zergy, member of Bro Nation, and he made it for our for the Christmas Village a few years ago, and then the melted snowman here. Just a little Easter egg. I might throw some more Easter eggs around. Hey, pay no attention to the fact that the river doesn't come from anywhere. I'm pretty much making sure that it looks good from coaster view, so you're getting to see a bit of the behind the scenes. And yes, there will be some bits and bobs here, but whatever. I think the overall look is really quite good. Not much else has been done. Tons of trees. Hopefully you can see a difference here with the amount of trees that have been added. I have added so many, and just shoring things up, getting it to feel really good. And now we definitely have to tackle this area here by the lift hill, because everything looks very barren here. And I know there will be a station here and all that stuff and a queue, and we'll get to that in another episode, but like, this has not changed at all this episode. And then you look at what else is back here. It's like, oh yeah, that's not gonna cut it. So we're gonna do a little bit of terrain work, and we're gonna fix the back end of the coaster, and that'll be it for this update. So let's check that out. So you notice now the coaster is like shrouded, completely shrouded by forest and mountain, and at first I wasn't sure about it. I was kind of like, I don't know, it ruins the profile, the sightline of the drop, but at the same time it looked so out of place without anything here. And I like the idea that it's kind of built on the side of a mountain, and so, I mean, we'll still shore all this up and make it look pretty, but I think that this looks, from this angle, I think it looks pretty good. I think I really like it from this angle. Yeah, I think it's good. And you will also notice the big change here is I redid this, and rather than a helix, I kind of did the whole overbank turn type thing into the brake run, and I also extended the brake run, which I think makes it feel much better, much more realistic. It's amazing how something small like that, it always bugged me that it was so small in the first episode. So I knew it, and I sat on it, and I tried to ignore it, but at some point, I mean, I know I said Shrug Bandit good enough, but there's just, even me, I reach a point where it's like, nah, I can do better than that. And so I need to, so I did better than that. So we've got this whole overbank section here, which I think is a much better ending to this RMC. I think it fits it a lot better. And unfortunately, that's where we're going to have to leave it for today, because I have no new work to show you. We will continue, and hopefully by the end of the next episode, we'll have the entirety of the coaster themed, and then we'll have an episode where we do station and queue and signage and that kind of stuff. I think the next episode will probably incorporate any night lighting as well. That's on my to-do list. So we'll do some night lighting, and we'll finish up all the trees and the terrain in the next episode, and then I think one more after that, and then an official POV. So what is that, 4 episodes and then a POV? I think that sounds about right. Can I get that all done before Christmas? We'll see. I am on a roll. I am in a groove. I am excited to play. I am excited. You know what it is? This is a sizable chunk. This is something I can do in a set amount of time. I like having deadlines for myself. It allows me to get things finished. I know #where's Summerdale. Maybe Summerdale will be finished in winter. Name it Winterdale. Call it a day. But no, I like this idea that I can have a project done in about a month. And so I made the project not something that would be so overwhelming that sad I couldn't get it done. So yeah, a couple more episodes to go. Hope you're excited about it. Hope you're enjoying the Return to Planet Coaster. I know I am. I do love Planet Coaster, even though it has been gone for so very long and intermittent at best. I do love this game, and I love theme parks, and that's always going to be a huge part of me and my channel. So if you did enjoy, hit the like button. If you aren't subscribed, consider subscribing so you don't miss any Planet Coaster. And with all that being said, have yourself a great day, great night, great whatever, and I will see all of you for the next episode of Planet Coaster. Take care, everyone, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.